Today we are going to do something a little bit different. We thought it would be fun to do a joint video so that you could get to know both of us a little bit better. So I have Adam, my husband, here with me today. If you're a broadcasting brusher and a part of our Patreon, you know Adam a little bit because he is the man behind the technology, and it wouldn't work without him. So we are going to quiz each other. Quiz is the wrong word. We're going to ask each other some questions. I'm going to ask Adam about questions related to the art world and the principles of painting.
And I'm going to ask you questions for your audience to get to know you better, not only as an artist, but as a person.
Okay, let's jump right in. I am going to ask the first question. All right. Who wrote Alla Prima?
This one was too easy. Too easy. Richard Schmidt.
Nice. That's true. Okay. Your question next.
Yeah, so this question is going to require a little bit more thought. I am, when I think of an art scholar, I think of myself. So this one's going to be a little bit more of a test for you. If you weren't an artist, what vocation would you be a part of? The reason I ask is because for those of you watching who don't know Stephanie, she started painting seriously around 13, 14 years old. Mm-hmm. And so there wasn't necessarily a doubt or this existential crisis as there was a transition from a teenager to a young woman. I'm going out into the world. What am I going to do? Who am I going to be? But now I'm asking you the question. So if you weren't an artist, what vocation do you think that you would be part of?
That's a difficult question because I feel I just had decided so young that I was going to be an artist. So when I was 17, I knew that's what I wanted to do. Before that, I spent a little bit of time thinking I might be in the dental world. I love school. I loved school and studying, and though math was not my strong suit, I just had to work harder at some topics like math than others, but I love science. So of course, now 10 years later, I have all of this insight of what I think I would enjoy more than I would have at 17. I really don't think so I think there are a couple different things I would have enjoyed now as I'm older. I think I really could have enjoyed going into some sort of medical field, but not traditional medicine, something probably more like a practitioner or even a midwife or something like that. And potentially also some avenue of business now that I've gotten older and after we've met and kind of been introduced more to this corporate world. There are certain jobs I think that I could have really excelled in a business sense, but I was always destined to be a painter. So it's all just,
speculative.
Yes, exactly. Okay, my next question for you is a little more granular, and I do accept questions for this question.
I can ask for some hints.
Okay. Yes. Okay, where is the painting El Jaleo hanging, and who painted it?
The Met in New York City.
Nope. Another try. I can give you a hint if you ask for it.
I want you to I'm going to narrow it down to 2 continents.
Continents. It's here. Don't take that one.
Ooh.
And it's very personal to us.
The Isabella Stewart Gardner
Yes.
Museum. For those of you who don't know, I proposed to Stephanie in the Red Room.
Yep. I think it's the Raphael Room.
The Raphael Room in the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. My sister struggled a little bit to get some great photos, but that's okay. Still a really special moment for us.
We were there, and it was very clear that he was beginning to propose, and then he was very flustered, and he was like, "Where is she?" And his sister stepped out from behind this room divider. Anyway.
The one speech that I really needed to make with confidence, unfortunately, it was a little bit lost, but that's okay. Here we are 4 years later. In terms of who painted it, I'm going to go with JSS, John
Yes!
Singer Sargent.
Nice. Good job.
Awesome. Okay, so my second question for you, this is a really important question, and it has philosophical, it has spiritual underpinnings. Why do you paint, and why are you a representational artist?
We're asking these deep questions. I think I was created by God to have a special passion for painting. So the first question, what would you be otherwise? It's all speculation because this is what I believe I was meant to do. We're all given different gifts, and I think this was one of mine. I do think anyone can learn to paint and draw, but the obsession piece, the deep down drive that you need to have in order to really excel at it, not everyone has to reach a certain level in their career. Why do I paint? I think that especially today, there's something so magnificent about a handmade representation of the creation that's around us. And I do believe it is the creation that God created for us. He gave us the ability to have eyes to see all of these beautiful colors, created them. He made the sun to light all of it so beautifully. And as the original creator, the original creative being, we have the ability to be creative. So in some ways, it's innate in me as a image bearer of God. But on a more personal basis, I love to paint. It feels like the way that I make sense of the world that's around me. And I've been doing it for so long now, I just can't imagine not moving through the world thinking about how I would paint a certain object. You know, even just here when we're filming, I look at you and I think about where your hardest edge is and where the darkest dark would be and where the most chromatic place on your face would be if I were to paint you. So I think it's what I was created to do. It's an act of worship in some degree, appreciation for the creation around me, whether I'm painting a person or a landscape or, a still life. And also, I really love it. My final question for you is, what is an edge?
An edge is
You can have hints.
where two lines intersect. That's what I'm going to leave it at. Felt like I had to say a lot more there, but...
Well, okay, that is true. Two forms, more than two lines.
Okay.
All right, then there's a follow-up question. What variety of edges can you have in a painting?
A strong variety of edges. a lot of variety. Do you need to pose that question in a different way?
Okay, if you're gonna have a variety of edges in your painting, how would you describe them? They would be going from this type of edge to this type of edge.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, hard edge to soft edge. That's what I was trying to get at. That you can have
Okay.
all kinds of different edges, lost edges, razor sharp edges. Very well done. Mike could have been a little cryptic in how I asked that last question. All right, your turn.
My final question is derivative of a very cliche question. So artists must get asked all the time, who is the one person, living or dead, that if you could have your pick, you would paint them. You'd paint their portrait. So I want you to actually ground this question in reality. And who in your life right now that you have a strong relationship with, that you have not painted, whose portrait would you like to paint, and why?
These are very good questions. Okay, first of all, I've only painted you one time, and it was when we were dating, so this was 5 years ago. It's a pretty okay painting. I still have it, of course. You, because you're the love of my life. Unfortunately, all the times that we're painting, you're usually behind the camera, so it's a little bit difficult to get you to sit. Who in my life, who else? My dad. I have also never painted my father. And we're actually going to hopefully make that happen here pretty soon. The reason I would want to paint him, I feel, is obvious, because he's a wonderful father and has so many stories to tell, has done everything under the sun. We used to have a joke that you would be doing something very obscure, and all of a sudden he would tell you how he did that for a summer job one summer, raised chickens, worked in a machine shop, was on a horse farm, got bitten on the shoulder by a horse, all these things. So he would be a fascinating person to paint. So yeah.
Rob is a master of all trades. Like you've heard of a jack of all trades. He's actually a master of all trades. So everything that he does is exceptional, and I agree. I think we should truly have him on one of our episodes of Broadcasting Brushers.
What about
He'll make
you?
an incredible portrait. It's going to be hard to pin me down. I don't know. I got to work those cameras.
Oh my gosh, great questions. Thank you very much. Do you have another one?
No, thank you for joining us here. It's really fun to pop in and for you guys to get to know me a little bit more. And hopefully the questions that I asked were illuminating and helped you get to know your hostess, Stephanie, more.
Thank you guys so much. This has been a blast. Hopefully we can get Adam to come in a couple more videos. So drop us a comment below for what video you'd like to see Adam in next. Maybe we can entice him to come back, and we will see you soon.
You've seen us, you've heard us with the playful banter, and you're able to actually get a lot more of this on a more consistent basis. Stephanie and I have created, and we are maintaining, a community of over 75 different artists from all over the world who are exceptional at what they do. And the reason that they've all come together to join this community is because they've been looking for the opportunity to paint, to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and to really enjoy an experience that brings us all together. And that experience is called Broadcasting Brushers. And Broadcasting Brushers was created with the intent for giving access to artists who may not normally have that. So access to models, access to still life scenes where you can paint on your schedule. So we've got 4K live streams. This is really the only stream of its kind, the only experience of its kind where you have such high resolution that you can paint from, that you can join us, that you get this community setting and feel. And we love having you. We do this twice a month at least. You get so much more access to recordings on Patreon and so much more fun stuff that should enrich your life and help you as an artist, and to help you really grow as well. So please join us for Broadcasting Brushers. You can find all the information on Patreon.